corporations are in a race competing for AI dominance. We are seeing more land grabs into farmlands where generations of farmers are facing pressure to give up their land. These companies are borrowing billions of dollars in the hope that AI will create profits on a long-term basis, and we have yet to see that. Communities saturated with these centers are complaining of constant noise disturbance, escalating utility rates, and few permanent jobs once the centers are built. In defense of these sweeping installations, states and counties are fighting back. A Georgia House bill just this week was approved that protects residential and retail customers from bearing the cost to data centers. In Virginia, Senate Bill 253 would require data centers to pay their own electrical substations, in addition to picking up the price for capacity costs. In Harrison, Virginia, and Loudoun County, Virginia, data centers are now required to have a special use permit, and maybe that's what we should do here. In Memphis, Tennessee, Elon Musk created a data center in days with 35 gas turbines running 24/7, compounding asthma rates, exasperating the health burden of a community that has a cancer rate 4 times the national average. Once that door is open, we may not have the leverage to protect ourselves from these companies. This December, St. Joseph County, Indiana denied zoning to a $13 billion data center. It would be their third data center. In an article by Sam Carpenter, December 3rd, in the Indiana Capital Chronicle, the race of data center development is cited as the biggest pressure for an increase in utility bills, where winners and losers keep company. Wall Street is voicing concern as many analysts are warning of a looming data center bubble. Carpenter advises communities should require enforceable commitments before granting zoning approvals, like financial contracts, cleaner backup power options, rather than fleets of diesel generators, and strong protections for local utility customers. He warns if Indiana rushes headlong, like we are maybe here, into unchecked data center development, they risk burdening families and businesses with higher bills, strained infrastructure, and stranded assets if this gamble goes bad. Protect our ratepayers, strengthen our grid, and set up safeguards for our natural resources is his message. Short-term jobs compared to long-term higher utility rates, long-term noise, long-term air pollution rise, higher carbon levels, equal higher global temps, backed by NASA statistics, should give us pause. I have now spoken with 3 areas in the U.S. in person with high concentrations of data centers: Loudoun County, St. Joseph County, Chandler, Arizona. The jobs last only as long as the build, leaving these left with disrupted noise, little permanent employment, and higher utility bills. This is reported from all 3 areas. Even with the promise of property tax benefits, many communities are hitting the pause button, and we should too. Thank you.
Are you guys gonna be like pay for the water, like how water runs their house, everybody's on wells? That's a question. I don't know if you guys had addressed that. And for the sound person, you talk about doing 3D, did 3D stuff. Did you account for the amplifying from the solar panels that almost wrap it? Because I live out there, and the buzzing I get from the out there already is going to be unreal with this. I didn't know if you guys did put that on. There is a town right there, even though all the pictures from Cyrus, I know they don't do it on purpose, but they block a whole town out. They just go right to it. I know it's not on purpose, but I didn't know if that was brought into account, the solar panels. Amplifying, because it does. And in a major way, not, it's like the same sound level 2 miles away. Esri's 500 jobs, to make it sound better, 500 jobs. CyrusOne has their own construction companies. They have their own people. They hire from the area, but nothing like what they get the impression of. The companies work fast. They have guys that know what they're doing. They just want to get in and get out, which they would. But hearing all this They make it sound like these 500 jobs is people from right here, and it's not. And for the infrastructure and building it up, people move out these areas because they don't want infrastructure. They want to live out in the country. I mean, I'm just saying that's, you know, there's a reason they move out there. They don't want to move out there so McDonald's and Jiffy Mart can come right in. My sound was with me in the water.